Hi, buddy.
What's up?
Thank you so much for doing this with us.
I'm happy to.
Oh no, man, it means the world that you'd want to, and you're definitely someone we couldn't go through this process without you. Um, what is your name? Where are you from? And how long have you been coming to Graywell?
My name is Jarom Bischoff. I'm from here, more or less. I've been coming to Graywell for 28 years,
28,
something like that.
damn near as
I'm
old as we are.
Yeah, since I was born. Yeah.
What was your first experience with Graywell?
So there was a Gray Whale in Cache Valley in Logan. It was a very small store.
Connected to the Hoagie Yogi.
Yeah, yeah, and then teriyaki bowl or something like
Yep,
that. Yeah,
yep.
and I think there was a Subway. It kept switching out. It was a really small store, probably the size of just like those shelves over there in the corner.
Yeah.
I think I might have stumbled in there once or twice, maybe when my family was next door and just like checked it out. But it was before I was really into much other than punk that I could buy at Sam Goody. But eventually, I had a friend that got a job there, and I started going in all the time. And I started just getting music just like handed to me. I would just walk in. It was when John Rebake was there, but my friend Isaac was working there. I would walk in, and they would just be like, "Here, listen to this, listen to this, listen to this." And it was at a time that there's a little listening station. You could check stuff out,
Yeah.
and I would just start getting stuff thrown at me. And me and a few friends started going in there regularly, and we would just like buy records for each other, like CDs. Like, here, I got this. Just have this. Just listen to this. And I started discovering a whole other dimension of music that I had never thought existed before. And it's the stuff that you don't have access to unless you're looking for it or you know someone that can help you find it. And then it just opened up like, oh, there's these record labels that have these catalogs of everything is good that they do, and you can just pick anything. And I don't know, it brought my understanding and my being a fan of music to a new place, and it was awesome.
That's really great. Um, how would you describe what it's like to visit Graywell to someone who's never been here, and why should someone who's never been here visit us?
Well, I would ask them if they've ever been to a record store at all, because it's a lot like that. I mean, it's nostalgic for me, but at the same time, it's like it never left. So it's this mix of like memory with the feeling of discovery that's always been there, and it's a great experience.
That's really good. Do you have some particular memories or a memory of an experience at Graywell that positively impacted you?
Yeah, well, so I kind of talked about my experience at the Logan Gray Whale. A little bit later in life, I got a job at the main store by the University of Utah, um, and I was able to just check out used music, bring it home, rip it onto my computer, and then bring it back the next day. And at one point, I figured out I was making more money in free music than I was in wages. Uh, and that whole store and working for you, then that was a great experience, packed with a lot of great experiences. But that's the thing that sticks with me the most. And I also got in way more into movies at that time because I could check out a DVD and watch it, and I was just like, cool. So now I can just watch anything. I don't have to like worry about if it's going to be good enough for me to rent from Blockbuster or whatever.
Yeah,
And that opened me up to a lot of movies. And now like I'm really into soundtracks, and those things kind of like came together at that point.
that's amazing. Um, Beyond being an employee and being someone who's had great experiences shopping here, you here in Salt Lake are a mainstay in the local music scene for multiple reasons. Walk me through what you've done in the local scene, and I'll say this to start that kind of conversation is how important and integral to music in Utah you have been with what we'll talk about. I respect you so deeply for it, and I've supported you from day one because of that
You really
reason.
have.
Yeah.
I'd say the first time you supported me was when I was employed with you, and you let me take off to go on tour anytime I wanted to and come back to a job. And I know you've done that for a lot of people. So that's something that a lot of musicians don't have. They have to leave their job and then find a new one when they get back until they find something that they can work with.
Yeah.
So in that way, I know you've supported I don't know how many bands, but dozens, if not over 100 or something. Um, so that was the first way that Graywell directly supported me, and then also just being a hub for local musicians. You've always had a local section. You've always, but people have always been able to come in and bring a few of their, they just got their CDs printed and they're not out by a label yet, but you'd be like, sure, I'll buy a couple of those and put them on the rack.
Yeah.
So our music was sold in Graywells before anywhere else and whatever. But so that I was in a band called Loom, and that was around the same time that I was working at the main store. That was a long time ago now, maybe 18 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Some number I don't want to think about. Um, and then later on, I stopped going on tour and decided to start a music festival. So I started Crucial Fest here, and Gray Whale. I think Gray Whale and Slug Magazine are the only two sponsors that we've had every single year.
Yeah.
But Gray Whale as like a direct support um, sponsor rather than like a media sponsor. And Slug's always been great and hooked us up with some advertising and stuff, but you've directly contributed to like our performer budget and helped us like make a lot of things happen that wouldn't have happened without you, without Gray Whale, without everyone. And then beyond that, just like you've had like sections of like Crucial Fest bands that people can come in and see what bands are playing and help with promotion and stuff like that. And then Gray Whale has been in attendance at Crucial Fest, actually connecting with people, forming relationships, offering like absurdly cheap records for only people that come to the event. So everything I've done here has gone hand in hand with what Gray Whale has done and stood for in the community and everything.
We wouldn't. I couldn't imagine not supporting you in what you do. I think what you do is so integral to not just the local scene, but just music as a whole. There's just in the battle today with AI and fake music and streaming and the experience not being there, what you've done and what you've continued to do is important, and I love supporting that. So thank you for letting me be a part of what you've built. Talk
Absolutely.
about the building of Crucial Fest.
Um, the building of it?
Yeah, how did it start? What did it mean to you?
Well, first, I just want to say one quick thing, just kind of about AI, is that something that Crucial Fest is about is the live performance aspect of music, and that's something that I don't think AI will ever be able to take away.
No.
It may try at some point in the future with some circumstance I can't really guess at right now, but I don't think that there's ever going to be a market for non-human performance.
Right. You can't beat that experience.
Right, and in the same way, when you come in here and you're looking through records and you're interacting with your environment, it's a whole different, even than just online shopping, it's a whole different experience.
Yeah.
But as far as building Crucial Fest goes, I don't really know. It's kind of been one shot in the dark after the other every year, and we keep the things that work and we move on from the things that don't. And so Crucial Fest has had many different renditions. We've always tried to have a really heavy local focus. Some years we've had an exclusively local focus. Some years we've gone big and done big outdoor things with multiple stages. Some years we've done multiple indoor venues. So it really is, even to this day, after doing 13 of them, and we took a year off last year to kind of think about it. I'm still sort of figuring out where to go next with it. But it's always an experiment. And there has been steady growth with also lots of peaks and valleys at the same time. But Graywell's always been there to support us in any different endeavor, and it's helped us be able to experiment and try different things and figure out what works.
Yeah. Well, as long as I'm kicking, I will always be there for you, buddy.
Thank you.
I think what you do is amazing. Through the peaks and valleys, it's always interesting, and I want to support you as always because it's a community-based thing, but it's really more even deeply niche when it comes to just music and the experience of life,
Yeah.
stuff we love, and being able to continue that experience. So you should be proud of yourself for what you've accomplished, and I look forward to what the next iteration is, and I'll be right there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything you want to add? Where can we find you on Instagram?
So you can find me at Crucial Fest, one word, just like it sounds. We are looking at different options for next steps and things to do, and we'll be making some announcements in over the next few weeks to a couple months at some point,
Cool.
as soon as we kind of figure that out. But yeah, just want to say thanks for having me in. Thanks for always supporting and just for being here and not folding when you could have, when so many people were like, oh, record stores are a thing of the past, it's time to move on, close it, everyone just closes down. But you stuck through that, and I think got to like a new plane that's just an amazing, it's an amazing thing to see how huge the store is and still expanding, and that your business is, from my perspective, seems to be thriving.
Yeah.
And I always see a bunch of people in here when I come in here. There's no, like, people are not letting go of this experience. And if you weren't here, I don't think there would be anything. There's a couple small record stores. I don't want to discount them at all.
No, they're
There's
wonderful.
really great record stores, but I think you've provided the most consistent access to this type of experience for people.
Well, thank you very
Yeah,
much. I mean, we don't. We say this in everything interview, everything we've talked about, all of our marketing, all of our announcements. Is none of this happens if it's not for people like you who care about music and what we do. It's our regular customers, our friends, this community. So I owe a huge thank you and a big I love you to you, buddy.
I love you too.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Great.